Yeah, we're here on Eugene and Market Street, and if you look here behind me, you can see that Market all the way to Washington has been blocked off by police officers as they work through this investigation. Now, as you mentioned, we do know that shots were fired outside of the Guilford County Courthouse. Tires, everything just laid out here, but then it's not only just spreading the pieces across this field.
A lot of people have relaxed their work wardrobe as we all rely more on Zoom for business. And outfits for those nights out on the town are not really a necessity with the current restrictions.
It is empty storefront after empty storefront, but good news, all of that's soon going to change.
It wasn't until she was on her way to the police department that she realized she was holding a live copper pipe bomb. Just days away from the largest mass vaccination site in the state, opening up right here in the middle of Greensboro.
Sent her this email saying, unfortunately, we do not host same-sex marriage ceremonies. Into oncoming traffic. It happened again on Saturday, and you can still see the tracks right here. They have signed this letter saying that they realize that the statue is a part of history, but they also realize it could create the potential for violence.
A man turned himself in after investigators say he murdered his aunt. The goal is simple: to get people through these doors and into these seats. At least 215 areas are currently under a shelter-in-place order. Fox 8 viewers are still having problems getting through to anyone to file unemployment.
Well, I just got off the phone with Greensboro police. I'm told the victim is 43-year-old Sanka Perry. I'm told she lived right there.
Delta Airlines is stepping up and offering their services for doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers.
All of the cars like this one have at least one window smashed out, but then there's this car over here that has all 4 windows broken into.
Against all odds, this 17-year-old is now back home with his family.
I spoke with this man, this little girl, and the photographer with a very sharp eye.
I tried to jump in the front, and I was just blessed to be able to catch that moment.
Crowds of people, inches apart, walking miles to spread their message. We've shared images from cities all across the Piedmont Triad, but one moment stands out. This black and white photo of a man and a little girl holding hands.
That's what it was. Love was being shown through a group of people working for the same common goals, and that's a sustainable change that the little girl allowed everybody to see over the world.
Michael Harris is the man in this picture. He says the moment was spontaneous. 4-year-old Emery Llewellyn ran to him, grabbed his hand, and he reached for hers. 2 strangers, now a symbol of unity.
I'm just thankful that that little girl could touch a lot of people's heart.
On Monday, we met Emery.
Hi.
And her dad.
Well, what she told me was, I want to give them hugs, Daddy. After they started talking on the bullhorns, when they got done, she said, I want to go meet them. I want to give them hugs.
And reunited everyone involved in this moment.
I can't say I didn't have a couple tears in my eyes.
4 people creating lessons for others without giving it a thought.
Do right unto others, you want right done unto you, and that's what she's doing.
I think she realizes it was a special moment.
The bullet went in right here and came out right there. All these bones in here are all broken.
Charles Yost has his eye patched and broken facial bones.
I've lost all my sight in my right eye. They're not 100% sure if it'll come back.
On December 19th, Yost was driving on Interstate 77 in York County, South Carolina, heading home to Lexington, when a driver pulled up beside him, pulled out a gun, and started firing.
The second round went through this window, through my face, and out the other window. I don't know if it's because I was going too slow in the fast lane. I don't know.
Yost spent 96 hours in the hospital. He's still trying to recover.
I like to smile. It hurts, but I like to, because I'm still here to be able to smile.
This man fought in Desert Storm. He was never wounded.
Came home with no extra holes, and now I have a few extra ones.
A simple drive down a highway put his life on the line.
If you were to tell me, 3 weeks ago that I was going to be shot in the face, I would have, probably laughed.
He believes this tiny little metal cross in his pocket that day was his protection.
My cross. I carry that everywhere.
And he knows someone was watching over him.
I believe that either my mother or him or both of them had a hand in the fact that I'm still sitting here.
As a rental property.
At first glance, this rental listing on Craigslist looked legitimate, but Nathaniel Birdsong knew better. This is the actual listing for this Greensboro home that he's the real estate agent for.
It had taken all of the information I had posted for this home, but changed the list price to be lower than it actually is.
Birdsong has heard of these schemes from other Triad real estate agents.
Scammers are putting homes on there and lowering the rent price pretty significantly to attract as many people as possible.
So he played along.
Well, I actually reached out to the person who was running the ad on Craigslist and pretended to be an interested renter to see how they would respond.
Asking for pictures, answering qualifying questions.
I offered up many answers that would typically be a red flag to a real property owner.
And even filling out this leasing application, sent in the body of an unofficial email from an alleged traveling nurse trying to rent out their home.
I asked if we could see the property and how do we get the keys. The response was, yes, as soon as I confirm your payment for the security deposit, I will proceed with the shipment of the keys, lease agreement.
For just $650 paid via Cash App.
If I had made the payment, I just never would have received anything in the mail.
Birdsong didn't pay and reported it to the FBI Cyber Crimes Division and the Greensboro Police Department. He's heard of too many other families left with nowhere to live.
On top of losing money that you have maybe saved as a deposit to rent a place. What do you do in that situation? I can't even imagine.